So we're very excited to be here this morning. We are recording and also going live. This is a virtual ceremony, so we have our honored guest here, Ms. Kane, is here today, and you can see her on one of our screens. So here on the microphone, we're all secretly apart, and we have both a live and a virtual ceremony, so folks are able to join live. We're recording this, so we'll be able to view this later. And we have folks, Allison's family is also joining and watching as well. So we're very excited to have so many folks here today. This is a wonderful award and a wonderful ceremony, and I'm so happy to have been a part of this last year and again this year. You know, I knew Charlie. I met him a few times. I didn't know him very well, but I have to say that I knew of him. When I first started, I was the assistant principal in the middle school. And so, you know, I was told right from day one by Mr. Damiano that I had very big shoes to fill. He told me all about the legend of Charlie Jones and what he did for students and staff in this district for 27 years, I believe, which is just an unbelievable amount of service to our district. It's incredible. And the next time I heard a lot about Charlie Jones was Chris Papavasilio, who's now a school committee member. I remember when Chris was working at the middle school, first as a substitute teacher, then as a long-term sub, and he just raved about Mr. Jones and talked about the camping trips. And I heard all about this legendary trips and what they involved and just how it changed the lives for students for so many years to come. And you know, there were just things. I was speaking with Ann Lundell, my executive assistant, this morning, and she shared some of her experiences with Charlie and said that, you know, on those trips, the students had to memorize the Gettysburg Address in order to be able to participate, which was just incredible. And so I did have the good fortune to meet Charlie a few times over the years and to connect. And certainly when we dedicated this Charlie Jones Way here a few years ago was really just an incredible ceremony, and I'm so proud to have been a part of it. So I hope everyone can hear me, but we did have some outstanding nominees this year. Whitney Cleary at the Hood School, Andy Dexter here at North Reading High School, Jolene Damian, North Reading Middle School, Kelly Gilbert, North Reading High School, Carla Lister, North Reading Middle School, Heather Maiola, North Reading Middle School, Audra Majewski, the Hood School, Phil Knackley, the Little School, and also has been at North Reading High School, Tracy Nicholas, our nurse at the North Reading High School, Kelly Olson at North Reading High School, Andrea Slavin at the Hood, and this year's recipient, Miss Allison. So at this time, we have some guest speakers. This will work well. When I call on the first speaker, you can just speak, and you should be able to be on the live feed. So our first speaker is Miss Claudia Brown.
Thank you, Dr. Daly. You know, I've only corrected a superintendent a couple of times in the past, but just this once, Dr. Daly. Mr. Jones did 27 years of cross-country trips with students and 38 years in education in North Reading as an administrator, a teacher. Yes. So I'm sorry. I should have been more clear in the notes I sent. I'd like to first, good morning, everybody. I'd like to first wish a happy birthday to our grandniece, Delphine. She is Mr. Jones' grandniece, and I hope she's having a beautiful half-score birthday today. And also, of course, to Mr. Lincoln, whose words kept Mr. Jones' students up many, many nights. I'd like to recognize and thank the members of the committee who thoughtfully and carefully deliberated over 24 letters and several videos of nomination for 12 nominees. Our student member, Kylie Kopolis. We're delighted to get to know Kylie this year. Mary Pat and Tom DeSport, who are here on the call and who are old friends of Charlie's and mine and great members of our community in North Reading. Dr. Anne-Marie Gallo of Salem State University, who is a colleague and friend. Charlie's nieces, Leah and Sarah Jones, who are here. David Rogers, who knew Mr. Jones in many capacities, as a colleague, as a fellow camper, as a chaperone on trips, and as a fellow attorney. Mr. Michael Votto, who is a colleague and friend and who was last year's recipient of the award. Dr. Daly was also on the committee, but he recused himself from the voting, as a good man would do. So thank you all, because you've all made this so special today. This is a great day. It's a day in memory of the best man and the best teacher I've ever known. But to our teachers, this day is about you. The people who walk through the virtual and real doors of our schools and stand with and for our students every day. Though one very special and deserving teacher has won this award, it is you who created this award. It is you who illuminate all that is good about learning, all that it means to do what no one else would choose to do. The extraordinary, the ordinary, the things that make students want to talk to you for years after you've retired. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Leah Jones, if you're on the call.
Hi, new friends and old friends. I see lots of familiar faces on here. It's great to see you, and it's an honor to be here to help present this award. I never feel totally worthy when I'm in a room full of educators. I just thank you every day for what you do for our kids and our country, and just know that you're so appreciated every day. And I just wanted to say, I thought about, Sarah and I thought about, we kind of debated, should we quote Abraham Lincoln or should we quote Charlie? But I thought our Uncle Charlie, but we thought that it was most appropriate in honoring Mrs. Kane and all the teachers on this call, all the educators, everybody who contributes to education in all these different ways. The American poet Maya Angelou has a quote that just kind of popped into my head this morning. So we sort of shifted gears, and I know a lot of you have heard this, but she said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And it's clear that, like our beloved Uncle Charlie, you're all there to make kids feel like they know themselves and they feel good about themselves and they love who they are and who they become, under your wings, and that's what you do for them. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and thanks for letting us be part of this ceremony. Mrs. Kane, it's obvious that these kids are going to take how you made them feel into the world with them, and you and these other educators will walk with them always. So thank you so much. Thanks, Auntie Claudia.
So next speaker is high school principal, Mr. LeCrae. Thank you, and good morning. Certainly grateful for the generosity that defines this award. The Excellence in Education Award, the Charles E. Jones Excellence in Education Award. I want to congratulate the other nominees. And as Dr. Daly was scrolling through those names, it's a very easy reminder for us of the amount of dedicated educators and the talent that we really enjoy in North Reading. So congratulations to the other nominees. And sincere congratulations to Mrs. Kane for her years and years of commitment to students in the arts, music, and theater. And in trying to think of something appropriate to say, as the legacy of Charlie Jones speaks about learning and then learning outside of the classroom, and an emphasis on that kind of outside of the classroom, I'm thinking it's just like an artist to afford us an opportunity to think a little differently, and I think Ms. Kane has allowed us to do that, is to say that there's another layer, and that is the classroom that is within us, and that she is so dedicated to student growth. And when you're working with students that are in the theater and in music, the challenges of saying, memorizing the Gettysburg Address, or the challenges of a hike, or the challenges of trying to overcome some physical obstacle, or in the classroom some content or some new material, that obstacle. But to say, well, in the arts, there's the inner obstacle. There's inhibition, or there's challenges against your own confidence, and those type of things that the challenge in how we want to communicate an idea and effectively to move somebody emotionally. So I think, again, you're putting the artist's twist on this to say that, it's not just inside the classroom, nor outside the classroom, it's in ourselves. So thank you for that. I think in closing, I'm going to quote another great educator here, John Bernard. and I'm going to say that with a wink. It's all about the high school. But I'm spoiled in that we have Mr. Votto and Ms. Kane as the first two recipients of this award. And it's just a reminder for me of what a joy it is for me to come to work every day and to come to North Reading every day. And I appreciate everybody's commitment to this award, and wish you well, and congratulations. Thank you very much. So I would like at this time to call up last year's 2019 award recipient, Mr. Michael Votto.
All right. Oh, we're right underneath the Charles E. Jones Way sign. All you guys have said amazing things about Allie, and I'd like to also just kind of add a few things. I've had the privilege of teaching with Allison for my 8 years. You've been here longer than that at North Reading High School. And anybody who's seen any of the performing arts or a cappella shows just knows, like, she does an amazing job. And really just, I think that's seen from the quality of, like, her students, and they've just got amazing confidence and character, and they're always growing, and I don't know, I think you do an unbelievable job. And I was subbing last year for one of your classes when you were absent, which is funny. And just to paint the picture here, one of the students is sitting in the middle of all the seats. There's maybe 5 students on the stage, and there's maybe like 4 students up on the rafters controlling the lights. And from like minute 1 to minute 78, this is like just bump, 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 bump. The student in the middle of the auditorium is Bridget, and she's just like, okay, move this left, okay, good, next, light 5 on front stage, more, good. Just literally, like, I'm like, she's not even in the room. Like, this is like the most efficient class I've seen. And I was just like laughing. I'm sitting there on my laptop getting some work done, and the class is just running itself. And the students were so respectful of each other. They were so efficient, and they really just had this pride in what they were giving to the community. It was amazing. And I've always felt that real education and the most important things happens beyond the standards of what we teach. And we teach eulogy values, which is a term that Father John Ooney of St. Cecilia's Parish in Boston, the same priest that delivered Charlie's Mass, he mentioned. And he said, like, think about what you'd want said at your funeral as opposed to, the thing you're going to put on your resume. And that stuff matters a lot. And I think Allie does a tremendous job of really teaching these students eulogy values. And I think, honestly, her students could probably do a better job listing off the things that they have learned, and it'd be more meaningful. But I always see, because I have a lot of her students on the Ultimate Frisbee team, and I can always see that they respect each other more than anything. They can really accept criticism, which is kind of rare these days. They can take responsibility for their actions, and they know how to work hard, but they also work smart. And she teaches that a team that utilizes all their strengths can produce beauty. And I'm thrilled, and it's my privilege to award this year's Charles E. Jones Educator Excellent Award to Ms. Allison Kane. Right here on the field. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. That was really well said. So, Allison, the award is there. I don't know if you want to see the award, and I will get. I'm going to put the camera on the main screen. Wonderful. Nelson, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Well, that was fun. Thank you, everyone. Truly, first, starting off with the list of people that were nominated, it's so amazing to look at that list and to know these human beings who work so incredibly hard every day, the laughter that they can bring out in their classrooms, the hard work they put in outside the classrooms, or the conversations that they have with their students in the elementary school room, in the middle schools, in the hallways, in the grocery stores. These are amazing educators, and just to be a part of that is well, amazing. It really fills me up with a lot of pride. I know Charlie and Claudia. Claudia is a dear friend of mine. Charlie was a huge supporter of the arts. I remember coming to one of the Notorious competitions. I think it was Danvers, Claudia, and just watching, the show and the kids that, although Claudia and Charlie didn't teach them at that moment, like the joy that their energy brought and music brought to them, again, showed how much Charlie continued to reach out, even after he was here in these beautiful hallways. So Charlie always encouraged a lot of that kind of adventuresome feel, and that's kind of what I try to do with my students, is to allow the adventure. And the adventure certainly has these crazy highs and these crazy lows, and those mistakes, even like when the camera goes off nowadays in our virtual classes, are really not a big deal, because they're just part of the going. Every obstacle as fun, that will lead us to that next step and only make it a bigger mountain to climb, or a bigger set to build. I'm lucky to have some of my kids here and some of them out there virtually. They're amazing. And being a teacher, what I think North Reading embodies is that our kids can, period. You just can. So, and I love my kids. They're wonderful. Now I'm embarrassed. So thank you for this award. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. That was really beautiful and touching. And we have, as you mentioned, students here who've nominated you. If you haven't had a chance to view the video of the students presenting the news to you, I think it's very touching, and it just embodies everything that this award represents. I think it just captures it so perfectly, and it was wonderful hearing Michael's words and Allison's words today. We talked, and as we met together as a group to discuss this award, we talked about the challenges this year. We certainly, first of all, wanted to make sure we carried forward and had the award. We talked about, do we have this ceremony later in the spring? Do we have it outside when more people can come? And I think Claudia and some others shared that this is something that we all need right now. We need this time to celebrate in a challenging year, and to break day today outside. We're ready for the vacation. We need that little boost to get us through the second half of the year. And we felt that having a ceremony right around now was just a perfect way to do this. And I want to say thank you to the committee and to Claudia for creating certificates and awards, not only for Allison, but also for all the nominees that Ann was able to bring around. And that really just brought a little bit of that light, a little bit of that Charlie Jones spirit, Charlie Jones way to everybody. And we received just, great thanks and appreciation from all of those nominees for that extra indication and just to light our way at this point in the year. So this is just a great ceremony. I can't think of anyone more deserving for this year's award than Allison. You've been a pleasure to work with. And I just love that spirit. It's just such a great symbol of the arts, right? Just to be able to say, we're going to carry through, we're going to carry on. It's all about the kids and the productions that we have here. I bring my children to them. They last forever. We think about these moments and these memories that you're making for all of our students and keeping alive. It's truly that spirit that Charlie had with his trips. I think you're doing it and creating those memories with everything that you do. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here today, our administrators, our teachers, family, and most importantly, I think our students to celebrate and to nominate Ms. Kane. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.